Fellow Nigerians, today marks the 64th anniversary of our country's independence as a sovereign nation. It is also the 10th month of our journey into a new century, having marked the centenary of our nation in January this year. The first 100 years were marked by triumphs and tribulations, benefits and burdens, opportunities and challenges. We made some far-reaching advances in building a strong, united, and prosperous nation. We also overcame the forces of disunity that culminated in a debilitating civil war. We have also renewed our faith in one another, in our country. We are proving that we are truly a resilient nation. In my address to the nation last year, I did emphasize that we are in a sober moment in our country. We are still in that mood, in spite of the many accomplishments of our administration. Our somberness has to do with the crisis of nationhood occasioned by the activities of terrorist elements who have done the unimaginable to challenge our unity as a people. On an occasion like this, it's important that we remember all the precious souls that have been lost in the unprecedented war of terror unleashed on some parts of our country by these individuals who want to compel us to live our lives their way. They will not succeed. In their mission, they have maimed and raped. They have killed men, women, and children, rendering many children orphans and several women widows. They have made violence their ideology and are bent on destroying our country. Dear countrymen and women, we will not allow them. Night after night, day after day, our security forces continue to engage the terrorists in battle. My gratitude goes out to our armed forces, whose will has been greatly challenged by this insurgency more than any other time since the Civil War. Yet, they have remained undaunted and unwearied in the face of constant challenge and mortal danger. Driven by patriotic zeal, they are turning the tide by their prowess and determination. As Commander-in-Chief, I will continue to do all it takes to enable them to keep on inflicting devastating blows at the heart of terror. Fellow Nigerians, it's our collective duty as patriots to avail our men and women in uniform of all the support they need to fight and win this war. This administration is committed to making Nigeria safe for all Nigerians, irrespective of our places of birth, how we worship God, and our political persuasion. To all those waging war against our country, I ask that you lay down your arms and embrace peace. To those who have genuine grievances, I have found that Nigeria will listen to you if you bring your grievances to the table of dialogue. To the good people of Nigeria, let me restate that our task of building a better and greater country must not waver. While we continue to deploy our resources in the fight against the terrorists, we do recognize the great toll the conflict is taking on our people. This is why, to assist the afflicted, we have launched the Victim Support Fund, an independent multi-sectoral charity which will aggressively solicit resources to augment government's statutory intervention in bringing succor to the injured, the displaced, and the bereaved. In partnership with Nigerian business leaders and international partners, we have also introduced the Safe School Initiative, which is aimed at promoting safe environments for education nationwide, starting with the Northeast region. The Presidential Initiative for the Northeast, a comprehensive program to fast-track the economic restoration of this region, which has been the epicenter of terrorist activity, has been set up. Our overall objective is to do all we possibly can to sustain in the Northeast the momentum of economic advancement, which is ongoing in other parts of the country, despite the machination of the terrorists and their sponsors. It should now be clear to anyone who was ever in doubt that these terrorists do not mean well for anyone, of whatever religion or dispensation. Their persistent choice of the weakest and most vulnerable in society for gruesome attack provides an insight into their abnormal mindset. I urge every Nigerian to put aside political, sectional, or other parochial considerations and support wholeheartedly the efforts of the government and the military in checking this evil. We are grateful to the international community and especially our neighbors who are working closely with us in confronting this challenge for their increased partnership and solidarity. Our steady progress in weakening the insurgency has certainly justified our cooperation. Fellow Nigerians, in my independence anniversary address last year, I informed you that we are taking cognizance of the suggestions over the years by well-meaning Nigerians on the need to focus attention on rebuilding and strengthening the ligaments of our union. It was in that regard that we announced the convening of a national dialogue on the future of our beloved country. We have successfully delivered on that promise as we established the 2014 National Conference headed by Justice Lego Kutigi. After months of deliberation, which did not come without its challenges, the conference concluded its assignment and handed its report to me. I made the commitment that we will act on the recommendations of the conference. This I have started by setting up the ministerial committee headed by the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation to work out the modalities for implementing the report. Every promise I make, God willing, I'll see to its fulfillment. I assure you, we shall implement the report. One major lesson which the 2014 National Conference has taught us as a country is that a multi-ethnic country like ours must learn to embrace painstaking dialogue until consensus is established. To me, the National Conference is the greatest centenary gift to our country that we must cherish and sustain. Fellow Nigerians, our 54-year journey as a nation has not been easy. There have been tough periods, but the Nigerian spirit and the unflagging resilience of our people have seen us through. We will continue to march forward to greater heights. We have been able to sustain a big, strong, and influential country with a robust economy. We are currently in our 16th year of uninterrupted democratic rule, daily improving on the consolidation of our democratic process. Our administration has made a commitment to ensure that we build and sustain a democratic infrastructure anchored on free and fair elections. International and local observers have attested to the positive evolution of electoral credibility, and we cannot afford to relent. We will continue to ensure that the will of the electorate prevails, so that political leaders will be reminded that at all times that there is a day of reckoning when they have to go back to the people at the polls. Election days must not be days of violence and death. We must remain vigilant to ensure that our electoral process is characterized by peace, security, and transparency, and join the Independent National Electoral Commission, all security agencies, politicians, and the electorate to work conscientiously and peacefully together to consolidate on the gains of the recent elections. Free and fair elections have come to stay. Nothing else will be acceptable to our people. My dear countrymen and women, occasions such as this present an opportunity to thank God for our country and to report to you on our journey so far. Our power sector reform is on course with the ultimate objective of generating enough electricity to power our homes, industries, and businesses. We are making giant strides in the agricultural sector, which we are repositioning to diversify our economy. We will continue to upgrade our infrastructure to make life easier for all and create an enabling environment for enterprise to flourish. Over the last 4 years, the implementation of the Nigerian Content Act in the oil and gas sector has ensured major increase in the participation of indigenous oil and gas companies in the industry. Several critical infrastructure projects have been commissioned and commenced. The level of indigenous asset ownership has greatly increased, and utilization of Nigerian-owned and built assets, such as marine vessels and rigs, is being progressively enforced. There has been maximized local value addition by encouraging the manufacture of equipment, components, and parts within the country. There has also been massive growth in indigenous participation in the provision of goods and services to the upstream sector from 10% to 60% within the last 4 years.